I did this. I did this. We survived. We're doing it NWO. Straw. T-Dog, thank you for the sub for 18 months, baby. Okay, we can't hear Corey at all. Can't hear Corey. Corey, talk. Oh, Corey's here. Corey's in. It's just that he's a little quiet.
I'm all the way up over here.
You're good to me now.
I can turn myself up a little more.
Is it Steve's? Okay. Oh yeah, Corey is hella quiet.
Yeah. Why'd you do that to me, Tom? Why?
Okay.
Yeah? Can you hear me now? I hear you great. Oh, okay. Yeah.
What the?
I'm all 8s. Nice.
Steve's at like an 8. The fuck? Okay. I had to put Corey at like 168.
That doesn't seem right, Tom. There. Something seems not right.
Steve's also. Oh. Yeah, you know, we're.
I'm also a 1 now? Really? You want to do that? Is that better? That seems too hot. That's too hot. There we go.
Does that do anything? No.
I don't know. I keep talking. I just keep talking to you.
I know. We hear everything fine here, but then I don't. Oh, it's okay. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. Hey. Hey, we're doing it. Do I hear you? No, I don't hear that. I don't hear that. Okay. All right. It should be that. How about, do you guys, okay. And then.
I do sound really quiet. I'm looking at it now. Yeah.
Cue Hans Zimmer score.
Oh, there we go. There we go.
Getting closer.
What was it, Tom?
Getting closer.
For some reason, the voice meter wasn't picking any of you up.
Oh, look at you.
Sick.
Look at you, Tars. Look at you. Watch. Oh, Hans Zimmer. Oh,
fixed it. So, hey, what is everyone? Welcome to the Nerd On Update, the show where we talk about the stuff in the news that excites us. And later on, we answer questions from you, the people. Like I was saying before, how's everyone doing in the chat this fine Monday evening? We lie, baby. It's Mondays. We got a case of the Mondays. That's all it is.
This is our first show, guys. This is our first show. It's brand new.
We've never done a show. We've never done a show before.
First episode.
I just came up with that intro off the top of my head. What do you guys think? Should we keep it? Should we scrap it? Fire. Right, straight fire. Mm-hmm. Got it. Yeah, how's the chat doing, man? How are you guys doing this Monday? I'm feeling the weekend. I'll be really honest. I'm a
He's a great performer.
Pretty burnt. Yeah. But we're here. We made it.
I'm all right. You know what? I'm gonna say this real quick. I'm gonna say this up front.
Come on, Tom. Celebrate.
Come on. No. Well, you know, my news has to do with stuff about the weekend. But I want to talk. This is a little bit of about how that all conspired and how my experience was. Corey knows this, but you typically, attend certain events or things like that with people we know that would like to watch things like the Oscars. But then there's some people who are also at these events that kind of also suck my asshole. And it's funny because in this day, there was a lot of emotion in the green room. You guys were talking about like how this was probably the most satisfying award ceremony you've seen in a long time. Many of the people that you guys wanted to win won.
Feel good.
It was insane to be in a room where no more than 10 people were there, yet everyone, one person at least for every category, had to bemoan one of the films, and I was just like, Jesus Christ. And it
sounds like a group of people you don't usually hang out with, Tom.
And the funny thing is, for me, is just like, I constantly am in my like room and I'm in my head, and I think about like, I think about like the things I think about and how I view films and the relationship between the audience and the filmmakers and then the studios and the exhibitors, and then also like what kind of movies are being made and how we're watching them, and then also like how they're being formatted, and that was just the most like validating experience to feel like there's this weird air of just like, if you can't teach, you teach, or if you can't do, you teach. If you can't teach, you teach gym. And then it's like, this is a bunch of just even failed gym teachers feeling of just like, like, it's a funny thing, right? When like, depending on where you're at, most of the time, if you're amongst peers of yourself, like, if I'm in a room full of people who love to do improv comedy, and then we're watching improv comedy, most of the people who are in the audience who are watching improv are seeing the intentionality, the hiccups, the quick-wittedness, the ability to perform, or seeing like the generosity or even some of the selfishness that happens on stage. But then if myself, who has no taste for comedy or anything like that, watches it, and if I was a jackass, I would just be like, this isn't funny. Fuck this shit. Like, it's so easy to kind of look down upon the people who are in the dirt, in the mud. There's a good poem. I think it's by Roosevelt. And it's The Man in the Arena. And it's pretty much talking about that same case of just like, a lot of people there's always that peanut gallery. Everyone's got to say something. But what really matters is the person who's in the arena doing the work. And, you watch...
Teddy or FD?
Frank. Frank.
Frank.
Oh, fucking no, man.
Teddy or Frank?
Oh, it could be
was
Teddy.
Bill.
I think it could be Teddy.
That's bad. lesser known brother, Bill.
Billiam?
Yeah.
Billiam Roosevelt? No, I got you.
The janitor. Who's janitor?
But yeah, it was a very interesting, like, I just had my whiskey, my nice rocks, my cup.
Nice.
And I was just watching, I was wearing the same shirt and just like, I'm here for the sweepening. I'm here and it's happening. And I was telling a mutual friend of ours, Corey, Mikey, of this experience of it seems you have not met him.
I'm still applauding whoever it is.
Hey. No, he knows who Mikey is. It's that Mikey.
Motherfuckers know each other. Y'all just have not
Mikey.
met. Because of Steve.
Okay.
Mikey.
But wears Stone Cold or Halloween shirts, Mikey.
He was he very much predicted that outcome. That I was like, oh, that kind of blows ass. But I hope everyone else, and we'll talk about it as we get into the show, enjoyed either the highlights or the live watching of the thing. But Steve, what was your weekend? We didn't hear a little bit of
originally
his weekend got rained out.
Yeah, had originally planned to go to the Celtic Fair, but because of the rain and thunderstorms that were happening, we're like, no. So I kind of basically caught up on whatever nominees I had not watched yet. So I did that, which included The Whale and Women Talking and Triangle of Sadness.
Very nice. I really want to watch Women Talking, and I really want to watch.
This is me.
That's the one I haven't gotten yet.
I want to watch that, and I wanted to watch Triangle of Sadness, and I need to watch All Quiet on the Western Front.
Oh yeah,
I want to hear your thoughts on Triangle after the show, because I have some strong opinions about that movie. I didn't say it's good or bad, just strong. But what do I know? I watched Shanghai Noon last night, so you know.
What do I know? I rewatched The Big Hit recently, and I was telling Mikey, and I was like, man, what a piece of dog shit. That movie is such dog shit, but I love that movie. I have nothing but...
You got a straight jacket.
I want the aloe, not the aloe shit. You know what I'm talking about?
I've never seen that movie.
It's such a dumb... He's right.
Motherfucker.
Tom is right. It's such a dumb movie, but it's so enjoyable.
It is. Okay, it's like 1997. This is like MTV No Doubt
Fucking
area. Big
Lou Diamond Phillips.
and Marky Mark.
Is in this?
Mark was still in the middle of doing Boogie Nights, I think. It was either right before or right after.
I forget. There's a dude
Christina
from Star
Applegate.
Trek in there. He's like
There's so many people.
Elliot
Hakeem.
Gould is in there. And it's
Legendary Japanese actor was
he's
in Turtles 3.
yeah.
He's trying to commit.
Seppuku,
He's trying.
but then he's like,
he keeps
singing
getting interrupted.
It's-
Phone keeps ringing.
He makes a movie called The Taste of the Golden Spray, which he acted, directed, and produced, and wrote, and then put his entire fortune in this shit. And then, but also, it's just like it is a time. It is the era of like the moment we cut, we have to have some needle drop song, and I'm just like, Jesus Christ. And then Melvin Smiley, you've left King Kong Lives, the rental DVD. It's just like, what the fuck is this movie? And there's a moment where they're like hanging off a cliff, and then they get off the cliff, and you hear Mark, it's safe. Next shot, they're in the woods. It's like, how did you get off the cliff? It is baffling how bad that movie is. But you know what? I fucking love that movie. It's so.
And I forget her
stupid.
name. I forgot her name.
China
but
Chow.
I loved her. I had a
She
crush on her. 'cause
she's
of
a
that
cutie
movie.
for show.
Oh my god.
And but the thing is, it's so problematic. It's such a
is.
problematic. You got.
She's under 18, isn't she?
I don't know, but
I mean,
like,
the character.
Talk
Not
about
the
problematic. I
actress.
also watched Rush Hour 2 the other day.
no, bro. This is.
It's got some. That movie has got
Donnie
some
Yen
issues.
that gets baned. Oh look, I'm the real villain. And that's it.
That's not the problematic part.
Oh yeah, no. I'm just saying there's plenty of things. I mean, there's plenty of things, but I mean, like the big. I mean, there's a bunch of people just say the N-word out of nowhere, and they're not the black character, and it's like, man. And then
You're not supposed to like that character, but still, they say it quite a bit.
and then Lou Diamond
Like
Phillips,
in Malibu's Most Wanted.
and then Lou Diamond Phillips is just like, I don't know. The director just like, you're golden. Everything you do is golden. There's no.
Well, he's Lou Diamond Phillips.
But there is
He's
overacting.
so over the top bad. He's so over the top bad.
Yeah, but he's Lou Diamond Phillips. That's what you get.
I don't hate it. It's like, motherfucker, I don't like you. I'll never let you run my boat. I'm like, what the fuck? What are these lines? But then
I love Lou Diamond Phillips.
Wait, you have to just for the meme. Just for the meme.
Yeah.
And,
I'll watch it.
But also, like, Melvin is like, they got Marky Mark's hair really red so they can make sure like he cannot be construed as Jewish, because then his fiance, his parents are like doing every bit of like the Jewish stereotypes to be like, oh, you're giving me mashuga, whatever. I'm like, oh my god, I can't believe they're doing all this stuff.
Doesn't Lou Diamond Phillips, doesn't it a flashback when the guy's not quite dead, or he was killed the wrong way,
shot.
and Lou has to do this cool hop over him and shoot behind the back to do it. It was like, why did you do that? It just was for a cool effect, but it makes no sense the way he kills him.
It's so weird, and it's so like everyone's like, yo, act like how the black dude acts like in MTV. You're like, what direction is that? Because everyone just says,
he's right.
What's up, motherfucker? I'm like, oh my god,
He's right.
like, Jesus.
That's gonna be. I mean, because the first thing that comes to mind for me with Lou Diamond Phillips is
Young Guns.
Stand and Deliver.
Stand and Deliver. Young Guns is really good though.
Statistics.
It's just gonna be funny to see him.
Oh, dude.
Isn't
that
Bokeem Woodbine? Isn't he the only black actor?
Yeah, he's the only one in there, and everyone's all
yeah.
jacked. 10 minutes in the movie, butt naked men, all jacked, shredded.
all
and I'm
jacked.
like, is this kind of gay? I'm like, okay, all right, 90s, let's go. And then all of a sudden, like,
Bokeem Woodbine is trying to say how masturbation is better than sex.
well,
and he's trying to
They're
promote.
trying to say he never discovered it until now, because he's like,
Oh, that's right,
I've
yeah.
been fucking since I've been 10. I'm like, what the fuck is this movie?
So my news this week.
The Big Hit, everyone, go watch it. HBO Max.
My news this
That's a
week is Magic the Gathering themed, Tom.
Oh, is this a rerun? Hold on a second. I didn't.
Yeah. So
not.
tomorrow
Knights of
we
the
were
Old
supposed to get our spoilers for the Lord of the Rings set coming out. Lord of the Rings and Magic the Gathering. Perfect Marriage. Supposed to be getting them tomorrow.
But
we still are.
Okay.
But we got some early ones today.
Ooh.
The first one we got is the One Ring. Tom, go ahead and throw that graphic up for me real quick. The One Ring.
Okay.
It's an artifact. It's a colorless draw artifact, essentially. And the other one we got today, go ahead and throw this up, Tom. Gandalf the Grey. It's a blue and red card. I'm not going to spoil too much about it. I will say this. The art is gorgeous. I'm excited for it. But it's very underpowered. And I think they're leaning towards that because there have been some issues in the past where they've printed this limited run card set and they've made them almost what they would call staples, where people who want to play this format need them, but they're so limited that they're expensive and not everyone can have them. And it creates, like a sea of whales who are just better at the game because they printed this one card that cost $70, $80 because it was only out once. So I think they're underpowering these cards. So the theory goes online to make sure that they're not considered staples because the people who are going to play with them want to play them anyway, and the people who don't have to.
So which was underpowered, the One Ring or Gandalf?
Gandalf.
Which one, the gray or the gray? Oh, sorry, does he flip?
There's two arts, but the gray is the flavor's all there, right? So he's like a 5 cast creature, and it says when you cast a spell, choose one that hasn't been chosen for. I believe the first one is untap or tap target permanent, so it could be a land if you want.
I have the graphic
you actually threw the graphic up. Thanks, Tom. And then he disappears. He goes and fucks off somewhere, which is what Gandalf does. But yeah, I'm excited to see the rest of these, but we'll see the power level of these moving forward. We have 2 other Gandalfs we're going to be getting. We get another card called Gandalf the White. And we get another card called Gandalf, Friend of the Shire.
What?
So
what is Steve's? I'm doing
trying to peek around. He's trying to peek around. But yeah, that's my whole news for this week. Oh, you just showing off all the lands too, Tom?
Good job. I did. Look, guys, I'm Colbert Report.
And then chat's saying that I brought visuals, which is great because I did.
Aw, show and tell.
I'm the kid in the class who was like, "Yeah, bring all the art." And I'm like,
Wolverine,
"Listen, my presentation."
I need you to distract King. Sorry.
Yeah.
Peek over the thing.
Steve's, what are your news? Is your news my news?
My news is like after your news, but it's the same night. But it's like yours is bigger than mine.
Well,
it's all the same conversation.
My thing is this, the fucking sweeping happening, everything everywhere all at once. It was everyone's top favorite. It was the shoo-in to win. It made fucking history. We have like the first Asian American woman to ever get an Academy Award for Best Actress. Got Ki Kwan's success story, Brendan Fraser's success story, which is kind of shared because Encino Man, and also the entire Everything Everywhere All at Once fam loved him. You got Jamie Lee Curtis, who I honestly think she didn't really want it because she just was happy that the fam was doing it. She's been like, if anything, the greatest like cheerleader for that production. But if anything, like it brought so many people to go watch this movie because it's fucking Scream Queen. You know what I'm saying? I love it when she walked up on stage and then they're like, known for Halloween Ends. I'm like, bro. So much more. But you had a performance for the theme song that happened. I think it was the second song that was performed at the Oscars night. You have Daniel Kwan and Daniel Schneider. What?
Schneider?
No, it's not Schneider.
The directors, right?
Yeah,
the directors, right?
The Daniels. They won for best screenplay, original screenplay, and then they also won for best director. I mean, obviously, 2 directors is more powerful than 1 director. Kidding, but obviously, super deserved. Their second feature film ever. And then they end up taking the night with the best picture, which I completely went with. Everyone that who liked to play the Oscars game made their own ballots and their own guesses of who was gonna win. I went completely.
Or TikToks.
Yeah, I went completely conservative, and I was just like, I think if Everything Everywhere All at Once wins Best Picture, they will not win Best Director. If they win Best Director, they will not win Best Picture. Like, I feel like there's always this like kind of politics thing that has to happen, especially with the optics of like the Academy. Academy Why So White, and then just like having indie films, aka blockbuster films, like films that are not super industry films as well, like who just like come out at the tail end of the year just so they could get the theatrical release that no one watched. Like Everything Everywhere All at Once was like, if anything, it was their year to lose, like because their film came out so early and
spring.
Yeah, and it was wild to think like how a movie could still have so much traction and so much love and conversation towards the end of the year, the theatrical year. That being said, I think there was a quiet rumbling that All Quiet on the Western Front was also in line to sweep when films such as like The Batman did not get nominated for cinematography at all, and things like Avatar as well as Maverick were up online, but then it was all quiet, which is again one of the few instances where an international film, if not even the crazier fact, is a Netflix film being nominated for a Best Picture film and as well as Best International Film. Which it won also Best International Film too, right?
It did, yes.
So it won that, and then did it also win? No, it did not win score.
Yes, it did.
It did. See, and
score is what it took.
Score, cinematography, and Best International Film. It was like, oh my, like there was a case where no matter what, the best film of the year was not going to be an American made, or like it was not going to be featuring white Americans. So it was definitely a year interesting. But
everything got editing too, right?
Everything Everywhere.
Everything got film editing.
Original song got to Not To RR Baby. I was so so juiced for that shit, and I'm so happy that they got their flowers. And also, man, homie came out with his award and then fucking quoted the Carpenters. I love that shit. I loved that shit.
I liked the Harrison Ford Ki Kwan moment when they did Best Picture.
Oh yeah.
And Harrison pointed at him and they hugged, and then he was gonna give him the Oscar. Like he handed it to him, and Ki was like, "You got to give it to these guys."
And did you see the cut to Spielberg?
Yes, of course.
Every time I saw Key point, I was like, "Fucking Spielberg, man!" Like it's such a wonderful moment.
Dana made a comment. She's like, "Man," and I was like, "What's up?" And she's like, "Because this is like after we watched all. We didn't watch it live, but I watched all the acceptance speeches later." She's like, "It must be." Maybe that was hard. It must be wild to be Steven Spielberg. And I was like, why? And she's like, just all these kids that you took a shot on, like, are just superstars now. She was just thinking, she's like, Kia Kwan, Drew Barrymore, like all these little kids who are just like, I just want to cast them in my film. I think they're right for this role. She's like, it must be like almost like a proud parent moment.
That was actually kind of the vibe. Like Steven was there. And honestly, even with this being the most personal film he's done, he wasn't looking to win that night. He was, from his appearance and the way he reacted to things, he's like, good.
I
good.
mean,
They deserved
when
it.
your
Good for
name is
them.
Steven Spielberg, like it's weird, right?
You don't need an Oscar.
You've already won. You've won.
But also,
you've
like,
already won everything.
Film is still, I would still say, like such a young medium of art, an art form. Like, we have textbooks that talk about, Godard and Truffaut, and you have Keaton and Orson Welles and stuff like that. But it's like, I feel like there's going to be a time where like Spielberg's name definitely has like a bigger, longer impact on cinema than any of like the quote unquote godfathers or forefathers of film. And like, I don't know, it's just like, to me, he's just like a historical landmark. Like at that point where it's like Spielberg, I think, just wants to make movies. He just wants to tell stories. It's not like he's looking forward to that fame. And that's kind of like, I was talking about it today at work, where like this felt like this year of like giving the keys to the castle to the next generation, where like the Kwans can become the next Titans and the next Pillars, where like it isn't always just like recycling the same people over and over again, getting it all at the same time. But although in the same way, it also became a point where it's like this did feel like a cultural like kind of like we owe this, and we also like we're sorry for like never really giving you the flowers that you deserved for the time you had it, and like we can honor you in such a great way where it's like Jamie Lee Curtis as well as Michelle Yeoh as well as Angela Bassett, right? Like I definitely thought Angela Bassett was going to get the award for supporting.
That's what I was going back and forth between was Jamie Lee and Angela.
Yeah, so
she should have got it for Tina Turner all those years ago.
Yeah, and that's the kind of thing too where you think about it, where it's like,
just throwing that out there.
There's a bunch of those instances where it's like, oh, this kind of feels like this could have been the IOU for that, but also like Angela Bassett was the only, quote unquote person to come through for like an actor award for superhero films, right? And there's been that kind of clash and controversy as well as, there's a kind of in memoriam speech conversation of Chadwick and all that stuff as well from Denai Guerrera. So it's like there felt like so much that happened during this ceremony, and I think, I don't know, in a weird way, it was like it's kind of like the smoothest and kind of like the most like they're trying to be like open about everything on their wrists, kind of like, hey, it's all out there for everyone, as well as poke jabs at like how they actually the Academy functions and all that stuff, like talking about past mistakes. I was like, hopefully it turns a new leaf, but at the end of the day, I'm excited. I was happy that the film that I was super obnoxious about, the film, if anything, I would make a religion about, kind of, had its peace, had its honor. And I hope, really, honestly, everyone from that, cast and crew and, the Daniels, everyone, like, continues to flourish, and this isn't just like a flash in a pan. Obviously, I think it definitely stands the test of time. It's so impactful and such a great story through and through. It's great filmmaking, storytelling, craftsmanship, and performance piece on every level. So I'm happy, and I think, to me, okay, this is the 95th Oscars. I got 5 years for the 100th. We'll see what happens.
5 years, baby. 5 years.
See you there, baby.
So, Steve's, what's your news?
Tagging onto that, quite a few of them will be in Disney Plus's next series, I believe. Is it Chinese American?
American born Chinese.
Chinese American, yeah, American born Chinese. Thank you. It's featuring Michelle,
it's the entire
Stephanie, and Quay Huey. So we'll see them again together there. I got some just like random side stories of the Oscars that I liked that throughout the entire event.
For the Renaissance.
The Renaissance, yes, yeah,
I mean, I'll say this real quick, just a little quick. I think that we should redo, not Mummy 4, but just redo Mummy 3, because no one looked good in that movie. Like, they made Michelle Yeoh look better than them. Come on, man. Come on, man. Come on.
You're right.
Which is a hard thing to do, to make Brendan Fraser and Michelle Yeoh look bad.
Yeah, it's just like, come on. They know how to be on camera. Come on, man.
Come on. So starting off at the beginning, I caught like the last like 10-15 minutes of the red carpet. Hugh Grant was odd in his interview with Ashley Graham.
I question 100%. I've seen a clip. I haven't seen the full clip, but I did see a clip. I was like, those questions are kind of like hard to be excited about, I guess, but I understand like there's a little bit of a showmanship involved.
Yeah, but also I'm like, it's the red carpet. The questions are always going to evolve. What are you wearing? How'd you get here? And he was like, wasn't prepared. I'm like, why are you doing this then? Just get inside. Just go inside then. I mean, this is what they ask on the red carpet. Shouldn't be surprising. Whatever. Maybe he was trying to be funny and it wasn't selling or something. Could be.
He's trying to pull
He's got a pretty dry sense of humor.
Yeah.
That's my only negative part. Otherwise, moving in, the way this thing got emotional fast, when we get from Jimmy Kimmel's monologue, we'll go right to my boy Dwayne coming out with his comedy partner Emily Blunt, the dragging out of the intro, Guillermo del Toro getting for Pinocchio.
As I said from that movie, I really don't like. What a picture.
and then we get Adriana, and damn it, I forgot his name, the actor from Coda, and they give us Kei Hui winning it, and just you can't not feel it when he gave his acceptance speech, just right into the heart. And then her
voice breaking when she read his name was really sweet too.
Yes. And then my queen winning right after, and she is able to surpass her parents. They were both nominated. My Twitter friend, Jamie Lee Curtis, Queen Jamie, she surpasses her parents, who they were both nominated but never won. She gets nominated. She wins it.
I love her speech where she's like, "This is the crew. We won the Oscar. This is my.
We won an Oscar. My fans, who have supported me, we've won an Oscar."
This guy, the one who tweeted.
And then the only change she did is when she said to my mom and dad, "I won an Oscar." Like.
And when she broke when she said their mom and dad, oh God,
because that's what you want to do, your mom and dad. You want to be like, "Dad, I won."
I did it. I did the thing.
Yep.
Just the whole night.
Tony Curtis is up there just being like, "That's great, kid."
That's great, kid, right? Sarah Polley, who I had known because I watched Go 100 times and was on cable, because She was in Dawn of the Dead. Who that's all I knew her as. And now she went from that.
Is that the John August movie?
Yeah, the John with the different tales in one night in L.A. and Las Vegas. Taye Diggs is in it too. That's where I first saw her. That's where I first ever noticed her. And then she did Dawn of the Dead. Now she's gone from that to Academy Award winning screenwriter for Women Talking. Just watching, it was the comeback, or the I've been gone for a while and I'm here now. Brendan Fraser with the comeback story, and I had just seen The Whale that morning, and the scene that I had on my Instagram stories with my Zoa morning, it is as rough and heartbreaking as it is in that one story as it is in the movie. He does a phenomenal job in that film. Whatever you feel about the movie overall.
Sorry,
she was.
Jeez.
Yes. His speech was amazing.
Yes.
And I loved the little moment between him and Colin Farrell on his way up. It was really sweet.
Some
supportive folk.
Just overall, everything was Lady Gaga. I just read about her performance. She was not sure that she could make it to the Oscars because she's filming Joker 2. So I think it was Thursday. They said they were ready to, find a way to perform the song without her. She calls and says, I want to make it happen. Can you fit me in? The producers are the same Hollywood producer.
You fit me in. I'm
same
Lady
producers
Gaga.
Who produced her Super Bowl halftime show, who produced her performance for Shallow with Bradley Cooper. So in their minds are like, this is Lady Gaga. She doesn't mess up. All she needs is a microphone. Let's get her in to perform the song. When she is seen in the crowd in the beginning, she's wearing her makeup from Joker 2. When she's performing, she wiped all the makeup off, and they said, we're just doing this like as if you went to a bar. Yeah, Star is Born. You went to the bar one night, and there's someone performing with the band, and that's what they were going for.
And then the cameraman was like, we're going to be only in your face.
Only in your face, yes. But there was that trust level of, you give her a mic, she's fine the rest of the night. That's all she needs. So let's make this happen. And then it was an amazing performance by her.
Also, I'm so lagged on your news, Steve's. Sarah Polly, she was in Dawn of the Dead.
That's what he said.
He just said that.
I'm sorry. I'm just. It's hitting me. It's hitting me. It's finally hitting.
Snacky, Zacky, Saddy, Daddy, Saddy,
Saddlebag, snacks. I know.
Snacky, Zack, Art Attack, Zack Snyder.
Dawn of the Dead. To now Academy Award winning writer.
Snacky
Snacky backies. Just
Knick Knack Patty Wacky Zacky Snacky.
Talk about
an
overall positive.
Can we put a graphic up of him real quick? That'd be great so people know who we're talking about. Thanks, Tom.
We don't know who Snacky Waggy
Put
Baggy
another
is.
graphic up there for me. Tom's got the graphics on cue. Don't worry about it. He's not stressed at all.
But just overall positive, uplifting, inspiring Oscars. It was fantastic.
Yeah.
I said The Rock was there? I said The Rock was there, yeah.
You said The Rock was there with his comedy partner and movie. Dana spent the whole morning just watching awards. She said, I watched every angle of Kihei Kwan and Harrison Ford hugging, and I cried all morning. That's how you do it.
Zacky,
there was
Snacky, right there.
Yeah.
There was
you got it?
I got it.
All right.
There he is. There's that vein, the vascular happening right there. There was
nothing. Go on.
There was a story. I don't remember if it was a recent Colbert episode or if it's what's coming, but I saw it today in my feed. It was Kikui talking about when him and Harrison were reunited. And look at those cracks. And he says he sees Harrison Ford for the first time in 38 years.
Yeah.
And he says Harrison turns to him, gets grumpy face and puts his finger out. And Keihui says he thinks that, oh God, he thinks I'm a fan and he'll tell me to stay away. And Harrison just goes, are you short round? And Keihui said he couldn't help it. He transported back to 84 and said, yes, Indy.
Yeah.
And then they hug.
Wow.
Love it. That's where that's an older one, but it's where that picture came from. That first picture where they were like at D23.
Because you could just see Harrison, are you short round?
Why am I here? Where am I?
I just watched Blade Runner 2049 last night as well.
Nice.
I had a rough night, guys. I went from Shanghai Noon, that ended, and I went, I know what I want to watch next. Blade Runner.
I'll also say this: what if Ki Kwan is in the new Indy 5?
I would
I
love
would
it.
love that.
Wouldn't that
I
be
said that. I was
fucking
like, I really
insane?
wish that they could
You
figure
give
out a.
me a short round spinoff.
It
Give
just needs to
me
be a cameo,
short-round
even. Like, I'll
spinoff.
be happy. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
even that.
And you just need
I
a
would love a
cat,
spinoff.
you know. But
Oh, yes, still this
but
cat. Oh,
also
still the
imagine
cat.
if he was kicking ass.
Yes, that's what I mean. The short round spinoff.
Yeah.
Shit. Son.
Yeah. Yep.
Still, and that's his fedora. It's the New York Yankee. It was Yankees cap. Wasn't it?
Possibilities.
Yankees cap, yeah.
Send the check,
Possibilities.
James Mangold.
Do it.
I
Give
mean, I'm
it
excited
short
for
round.
him in Loki.
Yeah,
That'll be nice.
I'm excited to see him just explode and become like a superstar. That'd be
Yeah.
amazing.
He's earned it.
Questions.
Question. Hold on.
are we doing
Question.
that?
Second part of
We're
the
still doing that?
show.
We're still doing that?
Yeah, we're doing questions. Everyone who's watching, who's put up with all the technical difficulties that I have put you through, if you would like to be part of the show, which I know you want to, go ahead, send your questions over to neuron.tv/questions. That's for free 90 free, but also free 90 free is joining our Discord, where you can send it through our Discord channel for the update questions at neuron.tv/Discord. But if you want to directly support us, then you can go ahead and join the Nerd On Nation at neuron.tv/Patreon, where you will get added to the Discord as well and have a secret channel, and then also get your questions answered on the quick and fast and quick and up.
Snacky, wacky, backy.
Tobacco. And you can ask such questions and we also field questions before the show. If barring if my technology is actually working with me today, we'll be in the chat and we'll be chatting up with y'all, talking about things. Steve will sometimes arrive on time, and then my audio won't work. So you get 2 out of 3 good things. 2 out of 3, one bad thing. But first question of the day, Dusk Ninja
Hit me.
Kenji,
What's up?
do you guys have any thoughts on the new Dungeons and Dragons movie, and if it will actually be successful and popular enough to make the Wizards of the Coast OGL mishap? Make up for the Wizards of the Coast OGL mishap.
Oh, I see. So could you we have a graphic of that movie poster real quick? Dungeons and Dragons. That's the one with Chris Pine and what's her name from Fast and Furious?
Michelle
Rodriguez. I was trying to see what's her character name in Fast and Furious?
Letty.
Letty. I've never seen him. One day I will. It looks interesting. Here's the thing.
Where's Marlon Wayans? Marlon Wayans? Where's Marlon Wayans?
For Dungeons and Dragons?
Yeah. He was in the first one that came out a long time ago. I want him back as his character.
Here's the thing. I love Chris Pine. I do. He's one of my faves. He's up
Graphics. There we go. Sexy cast.
Hey, we have the guy that Jeff John says, I don't want to make my Jor-El black.
Oh, yeah.
Good job, Jeff Johns.
I want it to be good.
He says with one eye closed.
Yeah. I want it to be good. But what I've seen so far doth not
Racky.
impress so much. It has the girl from It in it as well. Who I talked about last week, who I said would be a good...
Yeah, the girl, that's right, the young girl. Young Jessica Chastain.
Yeah.
Yeah, I keep forgetting.
Sophie Lillis?
Zacky Snacky.
Daddy
Everyone's
Zacky Snacky.
It's Sophia Lillis.
Lillis. Okay, so I like everyone in it.
Oh, we have Justice
I
Smith,
like-
who's from Detective Pikachu's.
Yeah.
It's got a cast. It's got a great cast.
I just have seen the thing with the dragon and I'm underwhelmed. As far as the trailers go, I'm underwhelmed. I'm gonna see it because I like Dungeons and Dragons. It seems like my type
so
of thing.
real.
He's so cool. Chris Pine's so cool.
People are literally watching a Google search right now. It's great.
This is what everyone on Twitch fucking does. All you lame, talentless hacks.
Uncultured swine.
So yeah, that's my 2 cents.
Nice.
Not that you needed it, but you asked.
I liked it.
What about you guys? Any opinions?
Yeah. Where's Marlon Wayans? I'm still sticking to that one.
Oh, right. Where's my-
I don't see him in it.
That's fair.
Yeah, it's just like John Leguizamo is not in the Mario Brothers
There you
movie,
go.
and that's
right there,
upsetting me.
right? That's the one. Marlon Wayans.
I don't know. Oh,
Ooh,
yeah.
See, we could have had that.
Could have had that.
Could have.
Could have goblins, goose.
Ghosts, goblins. Colt 45.
For me, I think general audiences are gonna watch that shit and they'll be like, "Oh my god, this is so cool! Let me get into Dungeons and Dragons. Oh, this is what Stranger Things does." And then all the Wizards of the Coast audience will be like, "I don't know." And then there's gonna be piece of shit audience who's just like, "That's not what happens." And there's gonna be the Vox Machina audience who are gonna be like, "This is really fun and I enjoy this."
It's a lot of groups,
but I mean, Dungeons and Dragons is as I think as a diverse like community of fans and audience members and players and even whales as it comes. And I think things like Stranger Things just lower the window of entry for some people because I think. During the shutdown, everyone was like, a lot of people were asking me, "Tom, have you played Dungeons and Dragons? Like, I want to learn more about it." I was like, why would you ask me? I am idiot. I don't know these games. I don't know what roll for initiative means.
Nobody asked me. I know a lot about it.
It's like grammar. I am idiot.
No, it's like bitches out here are stupid. That's me. I'm bitches.
And then Tom got on a Ninja Turtle podcast, and I didn't. So what do you do?
Because look, man, it's you fail upwards. If you're John Peters, you're a hairstylist for the Batman.
Next question.
Steve didn't answer the question.
Yeah, he did. He said, "Where's Marlon Wayans?"
Marlon
Okay,
Wayans.
cool. Okay, next question. If anyone also in the chat's got questions, let us know. We could use some questions. All right, T-Dog8282 asked this next question, which is,
Spit it.
what video game enemy do you think has killed the most people? For example, the first Goomba on World 1-1 of Super Mario Bros. I think that's a pretty funny question. That's pretty good.
I feel like it's a really good answer, though.
The first Goomba? No, fucking losers. I got killed by that one.
Donkey Kong.
Oh.
That's fair.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, I know. I don't know what color though. Maybe hold on. Let me get a graphic.
What was that Atari game? Was that Jungle Atari game? The pit, the pit you have to swing over on that game that you fall through. I forget what it was called. Damn it, Ready Player One. What was it called?
This is my answer.
Okay.
It's Clyde from Pac-Man.
Going to the board again.
One of the
going to the board
ghosts.
again. Oh, Clyde.
I think this enemy has killed the most people.
Nice gloves.
Because I feel like everyone goes after pink or red for sure, but then they let the orange guy come through, and then that's when they get hit.
Never trust the orange.
One of them's the fastest. Is he the faster one?
Are they faster? I thought they were the same one. I mean the original one. You know what I'm saying?
No, I think they're
You know what I'm saying?
different speeds.
Oh, but you know what? Brad Reprint in the chat definitely said the first.
Pinky's the fastest one.
Is it really? Okay. The werewolf from Bloodborne, you have to die to it.
Oh, see, look, Blackfoot Ferret, Pitfall, that game from Atari. The swamp thing you had, the quicksand you had to swing over, and if you fell in it, you died. Pitfall.
Quicksand.
Quicksand from Pitfall.
Oh, and there's a little snake.
Snaky wakey.
Snacky wacky.
Snaky wacky.
See, it looks like the hardest one is
Pitfall?
Blinky, though. Which one's Blinky?
Oh, he blinks a lot.
Oh yeah, Blackfoot Ferret. Yeah, Pitfall. Yeah, you're right. Blinky.
Red
Ghost. Oh really? The red one? Like,
Yeah.
Oh, look at how angry
He's
they
the
are.
toughest to evade.
Red foo.
Apparently.
Sky blue, red foo. Every damn shuffling.
Yeah.
Mama, for the question though, it's not about the characters they killed, but it's about how many players like we've experienced we've got killed by.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? You know what I mean?
Yeah. I feel like the Goomba's the right answer.
Goomba is a really
I was
good
just-
answer.
Donkey Kong's also a really good one.
Ooh.
Yeah, I was gonna say Mike Tyson, but you don't die though. He just knocks you out.
Oh,
Yeah.
you lose. You lose.
That's true.
But
Mike
Donkey
Tyson.
Kong is also a really good answer. Steve, that's a really good answer.
Thank you. Donkey Kong, man. He runs this shit. Just live in it.
All right, cool.
Him and Diddy Kong. Little Diddy.
Now, I don't have any more pre-selected questions from our bucket normally, so I will go ahead and start asking the questions we had from last time that we didn't get a chance to. Anyone in the chat, if you want to send any questions over, please do so.
We'll have time for a couple.
Corey, who is
Corey.
the great Grump Gator Guesser Supreme Guesser of 2022.
Next question.
Okay. Did we answer
Like a great press secretary, Corey, like a great press secretary at a.
We'll get back
Next
to it
question.
later. We'll get back to you at a later date.
Next question.
Did we answer the one? What would happen if you got admitted to Hogwarts School of Witch and Wizardry? I have it X, but I don't think we answered it.
Not that I know of.
So
Okay,
often.
what would you hope to happen if you were admitted to Hogwarts School of Witchcraft and Wizardry? Not a terrorist attack, at all, ever.
What would happen? We'd get sorted.
What would you hope to happen to you?
Oh,
I would hope that never
did I
happens.
get into Ravenclaw.
I would hope I graduate and find a decent job.
Find someone.
Yeah, I hope I'd get accepted a different year than the chosen one was at my school.
That's a good point.
I would like to go to the year before the chosen, like several years before, because I think the years after probably put in a bunch of crappy like safety protocols. It's like, okay, don't go to this bathroom and use this thing because that one's the evil snake man in there.
Yeah,
Don't-
before might be bad. I mean, I just said when he wasn't there, so before or after, whatever it is.
Yeah, I'm looking to have a good time.
not a long time.
Yeah, good time. A long time. It's a good time. Friday night dances, whatever.
Yeah,
See what happens.
Where maybe Angela White is a ghost there.
Maybe we try our wands out and see what happens.
No,
That's all.
and then we expect to Patron some good stuff.
And something racist. I don't know. Maybe we use that invisible cloak and see where we can go. Huh? Let's see what happens. Let's go. Hop that makes some bad decisions. How many more Vince Vaughn toned answers can I get? I have no idea.
Huge.
Angela White. That's funny. Do we have a graphic of that, Tom?
Okay, so,
no.
SFW.
No,
Angela
Tom.
White.
Tom, no.
Her Instagram. Her Instagram
Tom,
is safe. Her Instagram is safe.
Tom. Anything else? Just ask
Not-
another question.
Not Twitter.
Here's another
Not Twitter.
question.
Don't go to Twitter.
Here's another question for you. What are some unique Oscars you'd give out, Tom? Which films would you have won in the past? For example, most delicious looking food scene.
That's not her.
But it's white. Anyways, all right. So next question.
Say it again, Corey. Sorry, go ahead, Corey.
What are some unique Oscars you would give out? Which films would have won in the past? For example, most delicious looking food scene. I mean, that's got to go to Hook,
you mean
right?
Food porn.
Oh yeah, Hook. Nice.
I would say, I think it's called Man Eat Woman Drinks.
That's a different type of movie.
No, it's a movie.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Eat, Drink, Man, Woman. Yeah. It's about this Chinese family or Taiwanese family that like starts to experience like the Western culture changing. And it's pretty much like this dad who like is trying to keep his family together, but the whole opening sequence is him making like dinner for the day, and like it all surrounds around like this tradition of having food together. And then as time goes on in the film, like the family stops having dinner together, and it's kind of like the destruction of like the nuclear family.
Okay.
Ratatouille.
I mean, also
I love how random that came out after that description by Tom. Ratatouille.
But that's, I guess that would be, but we can come up with our own. Oh, my light just died.
Birds of Prey.
That's cool.
The egg sandy.
Nice.
It's really good.
Nice.
It's
That's
a
a good
really
one.
good egg sando.
Best acting while eating. I want to say Brad Pitt in Moneyball.
I would say Brad Pitt in Oceans.
Yep, that would be
Any of them.
Eating.
acting while eating, because the running joke is Brad Pitt always eats in all his movies while he's talking.
Like in Fight Club when he calls back the payphone, he's eating chips, and that was I guess they had done like 7 or 8 takes, and Brad Pitt was like, can I just do one real quick? I want to try something. He started eating the chips, and Fincher was like, yeah, that's the one.
And now it seems like in every movie now he's adding that in just for the hell of it.
Well, he did an interview about it. He was like, I just get hungry, and I want to make sure I'm not hungry. I got tired of being hungry on set. So if I bring food into a scene, they have to let me. Although I think in Oceans, he talked about, he goes, it backfired once. And in that scene in Oceans, he's eating a shrimp cocktail, and he had to eat something like 120 shrimp
with Matt Damon
day.
when they see, I think it's when they see Julie Roberts walk down.
He ended up eating 120 shrimp that day, and it felt awful.
I would give the honorary to Will Friedle from Boy Meets World, where he tricks Topanga to not having a pizza, and then he shoves an entire pizza slice in his mouth.
There you go.
Either that or the whale.
Can I tell a quick anecdote story that I heard Jonah Hill tell the other day about eating food in movies?
Do it.
He was talking about a scene in Wolf of Wall Street.
Yes, I know. Go continue.
Where Leo really hit him. Like he really hit him on a scene because he was like, let me just hit you. Let me really hit you. So they did a bunch of takes, and him and Scorsese are like, cause when you're in a Scorsese film, you just fucking do what they want. Let him really hit you. So he really hit him. And he goes, I was trying to think about ways to get him back. And he goes, we have this scene where we're eating sushi, and the script, Leo's character says, you can have that last piece of sushi, and I ate it. He goes, but the first take and the first scene, I said, nah, it's all right, you can have it. And he ate it, and he ended up having to eat like 60 to 70 pieces of sushi over the course of a couple hours, and was like sick. And him and Scorsese were just laughing, knowing that he got him back.
I saw that one. That's hilarious. I love that one.
Loved it.
Got time for 2 more questions.
Why not 3?
Let's do bad reprint question. The musical theater channel in the Discord is probably the least that probably gets the least love. So I'm wondering, what are some of your guys' favorite musicals and non-musical plays?
Oh, I got some for you.
Okay.
So can it be musicals that made into movies or no?
Sure.
So non-musical plays are the ones I did in high school. One would be Our Country's Good, about a colonel in the British Army in Australia who has been tasked to entertain troops by putting on a play for the troops. And he has to use the prisoners in Australia. And I got to play the asshole bad guy major who thought nothing more of these prisoners than whores and criminals.
So when did you stop playing this role, Steve?
I never have. It's a method thing. I'm continuing. It's like The Prestige. I'm not dropping the act.
Not dropping the act until he does the DVD commentary.
Exactly. The other is God's Favorite, a Neil Simon play, where it's basically based on the book of Job, where God the devil have a bet. Devil says, no matter how much someone loves God, if I put enough pressure on them, they will renounce you. And God says, now there's one guy, no matter what you would do, would never renounce me. And the main character basically goes through hell comedically without renouncing God. Those are 2 fantastic plays right there. I didn't become a musical fan until I saw Moulin Rouge. I did not like musicals until I saw Moulin Rouge.
I literally can't find like my mail opener and I say Jesus. So I mean, Job's a good guy. Job, amen.
Tom
Moulin
didn't get
Rouge.
into musicals till what? In the Heights?
I would never even. I don't know if I would say that. I really liked Les Mis.
That's a good one.
I liked Anne Hathaway's Les Mis, and I really liked the.
But I remember seeing In the Heights with you and being like, so when they break in a song, what does it mean?
Oh yeah, but I mean, I think for me, like, I don't usually give a shit like about like a lot of people vehemently hate musicals. Like, I still think the Goofy movie is one of Disney's greatest musicals of all time. And they're fucking fools to not continue doing stuff like that. And
America's Single Dad. America's Single Dad.
But to Steve's point, I really enjoyed the Les Mis film that isn't a musical. But I don't want to step over Steve. Steve's had more stuff going. Please.
Sweeney Todd would be probably one of my favorites.
Sweeney Todd's a good one.
Just because it pushes the envelope and it's a musical, and I'm like, this is outstanding.
You know the story behind Angela Lansbury doing her song "Down by the Sea, Mr. Todd"? No, I don't know
the story though.
So when Helena Bonham Carter was doing it, she like couldn't figure out where. She's like, I'm losing my breath halfway through. And apparently, I think it was either she asked Angela Lansbury, or she heard this story about Angela Lansbury talking to Sondheim about it and being like, oh my God, Steve, I can't find a place to breathe in this song. And he just looked up from his page and went, my dear, I didn't write you one. And she was like, oh, okay, so I'll just figure it out. And I thought that was fucking brilliant.
I didn't write you one.
Oh, my dear, I didn't write you one.
Oh, thanks. Okay.
Yeah. Oh, that's helpful. I would say for moi, for musicals, I have a real soft spot for Rent.
Good pick.
I can't sing the songs or sing along with it without crying. And I don't, any of the songs, even the funny ones, it's a part of, I think I saw it at a very transitional time for me as well. And I was in musical theater class, it was a whole thing. But that one, and I was almost in it. I was almost Mark, and then the production fell apart, and it's the one that got away. I mean, there's a lot. I mean, I love the last 5 years. I don't know if anyone here has seen that or heard any music from that. There's some fantastic songs. One of my favorites is a song called "Shiksa Goddess," which is this guy who's been raised Jewish falls in love with a non-Jewish woman, and he's singing this love song about her, about how if he's in love with her and he doesn't care that it'll kill his mother, and the JCC will disown him and all that kind of stuff. It's a brilliant show.
Nice.
And then if I had to do like straight plays, I'm a sucker for Romeo and Juliet. I know it's probably that's such a cliche pick. I think Mercutio is one of the most fascinating characters that's ever been put on a page, and it's why he has to be killed off halfway through, because Shakespeare went, well, if I keep him around, no one's going to give a shit. I love Brighton Beach Memoirs. I remember watching the movie version of that for the first time, then a stage version later. If you haven't seen Brighton Beach Memoirs, worth a watch. Hilarious movie about growing up in New York, in Brighton Beach, New York City. And then I don't know, there's a lot. I haven't seen plays in a long time, which makes me really sad. My wife and I used to go a lot.
Yeah.
And since the pandemic, really, we just haven't got to go out and see many plays, which makes me very sad because it was one of our favorite things to do. But yeah, I'll say those 4 for now. Those are good. But hit me up in the musical theater Discord. We'll talk more shows and more plays and stuff.
Just remembered how much I really liked Spielberg's West Side Story.
I didn't see it. I'm not. Here's my blasphemous thing. Don't like West Side Story.
No.
Don't
what
like
I like about it. I like the music with, of course, Spielberg's vision.
Yes, of course. Yeah. I'm sure I would enjoy it for that aspect. Don't like West Side Story, and I don't like the Who's Tommy. Love the music, but I can't stand that play at all.
What I always wanted to see
things, huh?
What I always wanted to see was the play version of A Few Good Men.
That'd be cool.
When Aaron Sorkin wrote that before the movie, I would have liked to see the play performance of A Few Good Men to see how that went. Thomas,
I'm doing visuals.
He's making up for it.
I like James Earl Jones in Fences.
He's
just
gasping.
Want to hear him panic a little bit.
There it is.
What law is there said I got to like you?
Oh, he's so good in that. Like, no shade on Denzel, but really,
no, bro. Like I told you that this scene is the premise to like a video essay I've been writing for like years now, and it's literally
get it out, Tom.
Between that, the Denzel one you could watch, and then the theatrical, and it is like the linchpin of my argument, talking about like how performance and technique can convey a story whether you like it or not, and the intended story is the one unfortunately you may never ever get to see, but using the techniques to your advantage can make sure that you are like for sure giving the audiences the curated like story you want them to tell. And like always things are up for interpretation, but you can't say that certain techniques aren't better and superior for the storytelling you're doing. Like for sure, the stage performance of like Denzel doing the same role as James Earl Jones is a little bit more modernized and a little bit more like quick-witted and comical. But you hear the audience and they're all laughing during this, where like they hear the James Earl Jones version and it's sullen. It is like seeing God get angry at his child, right? And there's nothing technically wrong with any version, right? It's how the actor chooses to portray it, but like there is one that you say is more powerful than the other one. And I think to me, power transcends like interpretation. I think if you're like, well, I read it as this, and it's like, but I think the heavy-handed, more powerful thing at the front of it all is like, this is what you're supposed to take away from it, and that's the more intended thing versus like, oh well, I thought it was like kind of a benign thing. Anyways,
I forgot to say In the Heights, Tom, like an idiot.
You are.
Fucking love In the Heights.
That's good. That's a good one.
Do you not like Hamilton?
Not as much as In the Heights, no. I think In the Heights is a better show. Or more interesting, I guess I'll say. I think Hamilton is phenomenal. Don't get me wrong. I think it's really cool. I've talked about this before about Lin-Manuel. I was like, it's kind of cool. Like, you think of all these people who talk about, Sondheim and that kind of stuff, whereas like they're the greats. And we're living during the time when like Lin-Manuel Miranda is going to be included in those names.
Oh yeah.
And it's cool to see that firsthand. Like it's cool to see it as it's happening and really know that like, oh yeah, he's going to be remembered as like revolutionizing theater for a while. It's pretty cool. Also Book of Mormon.
I got one more addition.
Yeah.
Technically, it's a one-man show, but I would consider it a play the way the story is told. John Leguizamo's Freak, his one-man show in the mid-'90s, directed by Spike Lee, where he talks about him growing up in New York. And basically, I mean, he has an entire stage, but the background sets change to fit the story he's telling. He's all over the fucking place because it's John Leguizamo in his late 20s, just on fire. And it's
full of
still
energy.
Today, still today, arguably, in my opinion, the best one-man show.
Yeah, you fucked up his dog. That's all I can think of right now.
Wasn't his more recent one-man show, is that technically a play, or is it just more of a stage performance? The one with like the history of Latin America? Yeah.
Yeah, that's not. It's all. Is that so?
Anyone here see The Pest?
I like to party with my peeps.
Better than Pete. Better than Pete.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Quacky.
For me, I've seen the Seussical musical.
Seussical the musical.
Oh, snacky, wacky,
a person's a person, no matter how
no
small.
matter how small. A person's a person.
I've seen Frozen on Ice.
Doesn't count.
I've seen this one that
in the Heights.
that Dana was all crazy about. Was the one with the clock. It was the Ghost Hour. They played here in LA. And it had
Vacuum Girl,
Anna Camp in there, and it had I saw Vacuum Girl. Did I see? Yeah, I did see Vacuum Girl.
Yeah.
I just want to make sure. Did I get the name right?
And if you're in LA, you can see Vacuum Girl too.
Yeah, and it was with Flint Wintrock, I think his name. No. The one the Ghost Hour. The Ghost Hour.
Yeah.
And he's still supposed to be Guy Gardner, and I don't know if that's gonna happen. But
Jackie Packy Snack Snyder.
This is
Snack Pack Snyder.
This is Jamie AK-47. What else have I seen? Other things I just forget their names because they were in college.
You liked Les Mis?
I like Les Mis. I like Les Mis. I liked Plays. Yeah.
Plays.
Hamlet's fantastic. You can't. I mean, there's a lot of versions of it. That's The Lion King is Hamlet.
I mean,
Sons of
I like
Anarchy
what's his name? Kenneth Branagh one.
Yeah.
Branagh.
Like 4.5 hours.
Yeah. No, his
suit is so
Denmark.
It's so cool.
I like his Much Ado. Much Ado About Nothing is probably one of my favorites of his directorial.
I liked, She's the Man.
What?
Which is 12th Night. It is 12th Night.
Okay. You're right.
I performed
10 things I hate about you.
Night.
10 things I hate about you. 10 things I hate about you.
What's 12 things I hate about
Taming
you?
the Shrew.
What's 10 things I hate about you?
Taming of the Shrew.
Taming the Shrew.
I did not watch the new Peter Dinklage. What's the thing? What's the man?
Cyrano de Bergerac. That's another one of my favorites. Guys, I got to fucking see Cyrano in New York. My dad surprised me. I was 18, 19 years old. And my dad surprised me. I got tickets to see Cyrano, and he didn't tell me that fucking Kevin Kline was playing Cyrano de Bergerac, and it was phenomenal. And you can watch it online, and it's great. And Jennifer Garner is God, what's her name?
Jasmine.
Jennifer Garner.
What's that?
Oh.
Jasmine.
No. The girl in
Megara from
Cyrano
Hercules
is named
Jennifer Garner.
Brad. Help me out here. Her name is
Roxanne. From the
Yes.
Goofy movie.
Roxanne. It's Roxanne. And she's not good.
Oh, not good.
I would love to talk to Kevin Kline, just be like, you survived Wild Wild West with the giant fucking spider in the middle
And
of
the
the
finger
movie.
around their neck. The finger around their neck. Random Kenneth Branagh. Branagh's side note. Love Actually. Y'all seen it? Okay. The scene when Emma Thompson realizes Alan Rickman bought the necklace. her emotional crying scene in the bedroom, what she used to fuel her tears was when she found out that her then husband, Kenneth Branagh, was having an affair. She used that to fuel her crying in that scene. I'm like, I read that and I was like, oh, that's awesome, but that sucks.
She passed away, right?
No,
Emma Thompson's
no,
wife.
Emma
no,
Thompson's
God,
alive.
no.
Natasha Richardson.
Don't.
Yeah, she.
Yeah.
Alan
Yes.
Rickman passed away.
Yes.
But
Snacky wacky.
Hello, this is Alan Rickman.
I did see the Aladdin show at Disneyland.
Doesn't count.
Okay.
The off mic doesn't count.
All right. That's
Next question. One more question. One more question.
907, one more.
Yeah, that was a train wreck.
Okay.
went long
Last
on the Academy
question
Awards.
from Black Diablo
We did.
Mamba.
Yes.
The question states or asks, what spirit animal best represents you? Explain why, and what would you do to show other spirit animals that it is you? Particularly to preserve the reverence of what spirit animals are to the indigenous people. I'll say Fursona for myself, because I do not have such a connection with the ancestral spirits of this land.
Good answer.
But I would say the animal for me would probably be... I don't know, man. I feel like I'm a monkey sometimes. I just feel like I'm kind of too dumb, but also like
I love how you were going to go deep and then I don't know.
Like this probably was like, oh, maybe like an owl that just kind of like, I'm here to observe everything, and
turn my head this way.
And also, I'm an ugly alien monster as a baby, but then I'm just a predator of the night that just eats rodents. But then, like, this part of it's like, I'd also probably pee in my own mouth, like, or throw poopy at somebody, or like use a tool.
I got my nephew with that joke when he was here and he was down. I was like, don't look suspicious, but someone here has been possessed by an owl. And he's like, who? And I was like, and then it clicked. He's like, and he's gonna tell that to everybody. I know it.
That's pretty funny.
I'm so proud of him.
That's pretty
So last time he was here, I taught him, call me Mushroom because I'm a fun guy. My spirit animal, is there a spirit animal that has weak joints?
A fish,
but like a heart of gold?
A fish.
Sloth.
Fish don't have weak joints, Tom. I got no
Sloth?
joints. That doesn't count. I got joints. Sloths.
I've seen worse cartilage, really, because you have no cartilage.
I'll be a dog because I feel like I have back and hip issues as I get older.
Okay. What up, dog?
But I got a heart of gold. You know, I'm gonna try my best.
Or I'll be a lobster because I'll be fertile forever.
Yeah, is that?
And you can live forever as long as you can bust out of your own skin. Someday you might come too weak to do it, and then you'll suffocate yourself.
Hell yeah. That's my life.
Good time.
Steve's?
I got to go with the heritage. Bull.
Yeah.
A bull.
But you have the shark tooth around your neck.
Yeah, I know. That's for something else. But a bull, you leave me alone. I'm on my land grazing. I'm happy. If you try to get on my land without my, giving you, allowing you in, I'm gonna be a little pissed. And you might get the horns.
Technically, we're all animals that cross the eternal river to reach paradise in the heavenly plane in the Chinese zodiac.
Emotional damage.
The dog,
Guys,
the bull, and the monkey.
That's our movie. The three of us.
You mean like
symbols.
the animated movie of the boy, the horse, and the mole?
Homeward Bound.
Oh, it's been done. Okay, got it. Never mind.
Did you guys see that interviewer break Jonathan Majors' hearts in an interview about Homeward Bound? This guy was like, Jonathan, I know you're a big Homeward Bound guy. I know I got to go, but have you heard this theory that Shadow doesn't make it? And that the last few minutes of the film when he's reunited with his family is him going to heaven. And that's his idea of heaven is making it back home to see Peter again. And I don't believe that at all because they had a second one where they lost San Francisco.
Exactly. I was
But,
like, what the fuck?
But you can see his heart visibly break as he's telling, like, he's just like, why are you doing this? As you're like, this guy's leaving to do another. He's like, I have to do another interview, man. Like, what are you doing to me? Dana and I put that on for fun one night. Cue to us an hour and a half later, just fucking gross crying. But yeah.
I gotta answer Black Diablo Mamba. To be honest, the bull is one of the reasons I became a fan of The Rock, because since I was little, we had bloodless bullfights that were happening literally 2-3 miles away from where I grew up at the yearly Portuguese festival in the bull ring there, and I would see bullfights all the time. So I was always a big fan of bulls. I ended up cheering at the bull on,
And Michael
and
Jordan.
then and Michael Jordan.
Yeah.
I actually was a Bulls fan in the 90s. Who wasn't? But
It's the
when
easiest
I
place to be a fan of.
saw The Rock had a bull tattoo on his arm and his tights, I'm like, okay, maybe I like this guy. Then he started talking, and then began my idol
It's a bit
worship.
chicken eggy.
Yeah. But
Also-
bulls were first, then came Rock.
Also, look up Jackie Chan Adventures, El Toro Forte. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and
Bingo.
raid the next person. Thank you, everyone that came through. Again, put up with my
You get a graphic
tomfoolery.
of the Rock's bowl.
can we get the bowl,
tattoo?
please?
The
The new one,
graphic
the
of that
new
time.
one.
If you get that
The new
graphic,
one.
you could throw up.
The new bull tattoo. The new one.
one.
The massive one on the right arm. Shoulder to elbow. Shoulder to elbow. Not the old 90s
Look at the
one.
little baby bitch one, and now look at the
No.
big boy. Look
Yeah,
at the
there you
big
go.
boy.
Whoa.
Look
It's
at
so
the
different.
monster man.
He calls it the evolution of the bull because if you zoom in on the eye, you can still see the slight outline of the old bull tattoo in there.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Now I really need to look that up close. Hold on.
Yeah. From that one to that one. There it is.
All right,
Yeah.
everyone, we're gonna go ahead and raid Yoshi. Looks like they're playing some Digimon digital card battle. Take care of yourselves. Thank you for swinging by. Hope you have a wonderful Monday. Stay hydrated, stay warm, stay in tune with who you are, what you're feeling. I hope you have nothing but a wonderful week ahead of you. I will see you on Thursday. I will not be coming in late. I will be playing some more Darksiders. If there's any more streams, I don't know about it. Might be doing some sponsor stuff. I don't know. If you guys like the visual stuff, let me know. It only happens if I host, because damn, Josh ain't never gonna let that happen, because that's just too much shit to do. It was fun for me. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Steve's, Corey, any last words?
Requiem.
For a dream.
Alrighty, baby.
Hey, our last words matched. That's kind of weird.
That's a
What
dark
are the
one.
odds?
Thank you, everyone.
Jared Leto's in Blade Runner.
The weekend.
Cheers and rain. Cheers and rain. Thank you, everyone. You know the drill, as always.
Snacky, wacky, snacky, nerd on.
Nerd on, baby.